Welcome to the Millennial Network Podcast. Now your host, Coach Danny Renee.
Today what I wanted to talk about is your financial independence number. A lot of us millennials, we have grandparents or parents that are retiring or have not retired. We hear this word retirement, but it's not talked about a lot with our age group because we're in that space now to where we need to figure out what amount of money at what age, what is really retirement. Some people say that they don't want to ever fully retire. Some people just say that they want to still work. You know, they want to sit around doing nothing. And I feel like be able to retire and literally just do nothing but travel the world, enjoy life, or sit down and watch TV. You know, everybody has their different dreams and goals when it comes to retirement. But I like to always tell people that retirement is not an age. Retirement is an amount of money that you need saved in order to stop working or in order to choose to stop working if you don't want to. And I don't think a lot of people uncover what that number is. I have seen, especially with COVID, that a lot of people have become more financial literate, which is an amazing thing, especially for our culture, right? I see a lot of people becoming more financially literate. I see also a lot of people on social media asking individuals like, hey, which stock should I invest in, blah, blah, blah. You know, and if you're going to social media asking somebody to in which stock to invest in, you probably should not be investing in that stock, because one, when it comes to stocks and different funds and stuff, you want to be able to do your personal research because it is your money. Investing should not be a gamble. I know like some of the world's top investors, Warren Buffett, I can't think of what's his homeboy name. I can't think right now. But some of the world's top investors, they can't predict the market. They may have a lot more control because they have influence on some of the things. But even with everything as far as COVID and different natural disasters and stuff like that, no one can truly predict the market. But the way that you can minimize your risk is by doing your research, doing your homework. And if you're going to social media asking somebody which stock to invest, you are clearly not doing your homework, because you probably don't know how long that stock or that company has been around. Which, like I said, I like Warren Buffett because he implements value investing, where he looks at each individual stock as if he's buying an actual company. And then he values it like that. So if you see a ice cream shop at the at the corner or whatever, you're not just gonna purchase that ice cream shop without finding out what's the location, how much money is it bringing in, how are the employees, does it have any bad piping systems. You're gonna do your research when it comes to that. You're going to do your research when it comes to that company, and that should be the same thing when it comes to investing, because like I told you guys, retiring is not, if you're getting into that business because you eventually want to be able to step away from it, or even when emergencies come up, healthcare, different things like that, you want to be able to financially take care of yourself. And that's the point of putting together a plan, putting together your I wish I could. I do have something on here, and I'm gonna go over an actual example to just kind of explain to you guys that if someone is bringing in a certain amount of annuities, stuff like that, and and obviously another thing is, we, some of us do at least, taxes. A lot of people owe taxes. A lot of people do have tax strategy, and some people don't know anything about that, and they're just looking for a refund. And I can't hate you for looking for to a refund, but refund, you need to have some type of strategy around, which is why I like to talk to my entrepreneurs, because there are investments that you can put your money in that by the time, like, imagine if you had I don't know, $5-10 million by the time you say 65, you start saving. You're being smart with your finances about age 65. You're like, you know what? I am ready to be done. I'm sitting on $10 million. But then you got that $10 million, and now you got to pay Uncle Sam $5 million of it. That is the importance of having an investment strategy, because No one in investment strategy also matching with your tax strategy. That is why having an actual plan is important, because you have that 10 million, you got to pay half of it, and you weren't expecting that. A lot of people, it really hurts some people, and some people are forced to go back to work and stuff like that because they didn't properly plan for their finances. So again, that is the importance of having for having I can't talk, y'all. That is importance for understanding your financial independence number. Um, so, just a couple things. Obviously, if you don't plan, if you do not plan, you are planning to fail. There is no other way around it. You can say tomorrow, you can say next week. Next week turns into next month. Next month turns into next year. Next, you know, 5, 10 years later, you have nothing. And think and ask yourself this. I posted this in working. If you have a job and maybe you're working your business on the side, if you have a job and you've been working at the business for, I'm sorry, you've been working at that job for 10 years, how much money do you have saved? How much money did you make over 10 years? If you see a very small number, then it is really time to do something, because again, who wants to keep working for the rest of their life? Even in your own business, a lot of times people do spend a lot of time in their business, you know, working 10, 16, whatever hours a day, but who wants to keep doing that? Which is why, again, you want to have a financial plan. So if you do not have a plan to succeed, you are planning to fail. Okay? So definitely you want to focus on accumulation. You know, accumulation, that means just over the years you want to accumulate as much money as possible. Some people don't know that there are investments out here that you can start investing as low as $25 a month to make your money grow. And I always tell people, what is it? It takes about, some say it takes about 21 days to form a habit. Some say it's about 66 days to form a habit. But if you habitually start creating positive financial habits, then you are on track to creating even more financial positive habits. They do have rule of 72. Basically, when you do your research on these funds or individual stocks, you have, like I said, bonds, annuities, stuff like that. You have what's called a rate of return, not an interest rate. Credit cards is going to give you interest rates, but investments is going to give you rate of return, because your money is growing and returning at an average rate. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. But I do know another thing. Some people, they fear investing because they're going to lose money. The stock market is down. And sometimes it's instill fear, which again, you can minimize risk. You will minimize risk the more research that you do. But again, you want the market to go up and down and different things like that, because if it's going up and down, you know, at whatever rate, no one wants the market. There's the elite, the Illuminati. When we exactly what we be thinking, because if everything is going, we'll be able to ever invest. So you need the market to understand what your financial independence number is. Again, your financial independence number is the amount of money you need to accumulate, the amount of money that grows over time to where you are able to make the decision to be like, hey, I am done with growing my business. I'm gonna let my, or hey, I'm stepping away from corporate America. I have all this money now. I can do whatever I want to, even if emergencies come up, even with inflation and stuff like that, because you did the work when you were younger. Which is why I like talking to millennials, because I'm a millennial myself. There's a $70 trillion. There's a $70 trillion wealth transfer going on right now. Basically, what that means is that all these baby boomers, you know, that did the work. They are all retiring. Unfortunately, some of them need to hurry up and get out of office a lot quicker, because they're the ones in politics. They're the ones in these big companies. Some of these laws, and I'm not going to get deep into it. Some of these laws that y'all don't agree with, because these baby boomers are still in charge. Some of these corporate, when you guys are still going into the office instead of remote, because most millennials want to stay home, it's the baby boomers still deciding that. It's a lot of times it's older management. So it's more of a reason why there needs to be a lot more millennials in these management spaces or whatever, right? But anyways, there's a $70 trillion wealth transfer going on, which basically means that these people are retiring. And in worst case scenario, they're passing on, but they have money that's passing down generationally, which is even more important why you should understand financial independence. So let me do a real quick example. I think they said like the average American, I think it said like make like 50 their finances. And if you have any question, definitely DM me. You can go to and I have a schedule with me link. It will show it has a whole full breakdown of what the financial needs analysis looks like, so that you can input your own numbers if you want your own plan. It's completely free, so just let you guys know on that. So John Doe, birthday January 1st, 1987. He met Jane Doe. They both had the same birthdays. They fell in love with the same birthdays, right? And then in this example, we're gonna say annually. Apparently, John Doe and Jane Doe is very much. Let's say that they have. I think they said that most Americans, about 3 out of 4, have $1,000 saved to their name, right? The average age in America right now is age 67. So we're going to keep it at 67. Another thing when it comes to a plan, and this is crazy, right? Plans like to ask you, like, well, what is your life expectancy? Granted, no one knows when it's their time to go. But you have to take in consideration, I'm going to put it into perspective. If you are 50 years old and your life expectancy is 80, granted, millennials, we are living a lot longer, but if you're 50 and your life expectancy is age 80, we're talking about financial independence here. You need 30 years, because 80 minus 50 is 30. You need 30 years of money saved. 67. So it's Jane. They're both, remember, they're the same age. John is expectancy is 84. James is 86. They need about 80% of what they're bringing in monthly. They don't need the full 50,000 a year. They said they need about 80% of it. So combined monthly for both of them is going to be $6,600, $6,666, just 67 just to be exact. So both John and Jane Doe they both making 50,000. They say by the time they retire, and the reason they say 80 because their debt is paid off, their house is paid off. They want to start planning and being smart. They were trying to be smart, but they didn't have all the tools, right? Social Security in this equation. We're not going to count Social Security because rumor has it we as millennials may not have that, right? It's getting lower and lower as people are getting older. They have $0 saved for retirement. So this is the part that I want you guys to listen to. I'm not talking about debt. I'm not talking about tax. You did not get a pay raise. Your money is now worth 8% less. You got a pay cut this past year because your company did not match inflation, right? And then we're not even talking about cost of living as far as food and groceries and everything going up as well, and that's been beyond 8%. Okay, so that's the same thing over the next, in this case, I believe it's like the next 32 years. The next 32 years, money is going to go up again, right? Money is going to inflate again. We don't know how much, but it's going to inflate again. So for this married couple, it says that their financial independence number is 3.5 million. I'm just going to round it up to round it down to 3. I'm done. I'm no longer working. Remember, I said that they're age 35. They're going to retire at age 67 and they have nothing saved. So, what amount of money do they need to start investing each month in order to make this happen? In order to meet their goal as a couple, And I want you guys, obviously everyone's financial situation is different. So this is not everyone's financial situation. This is not your personal financial situation. But I'm building up John and a Jane Doe so that you guys can understand the importance of understand what your financial independence number is. So again, John and Jane Doe, to recap, they're both making $50,000 each. Both is January 1st. They're 35 years old right now. They want to retire at age 67. They have nothing saved and invested, but they want to start saving and investing so that they can retire by the age of 67. Both of them, so that they don't have to work if they don't want to. Well, this says in order to meet their goal, they need $1,964. So let's just round it to 2,000. Both John and Jane Doe need to invest $2,000 per month in order to hit this retirement goal of age 67. Now, this is a kicker. When it comes to plans like this, they could be like, oh man, we don't have that because we got debt, we got the kids, blah, blah, blah. They can have all these different reasons, right? So if they waited and they were like, you know what, 67, that's too young, let's just do age 72. Now you got to think about it. Do you love going into your work now? What is your health going to be like by the time you turn age 72? Like, their health most likely is going to change, because as we get older, our health get older as well. So they're going to need $1,124 in order to retire by the age 72. It's less, but that's 5 more years potentially in a position that they don't want to keep working in, considering health and different things like that. So this is what your financial independence number is. So you have to ask yourself, where are you at right now? What is your financial independence number? Like, everyone's number is personal to them, to themselves. In this case, this is just considering John and Mary wants to make 80% of $50,000 each. So basically, they're, as a couple, they're making $100,000. So that's basically John and Mary saying that by the age 67. By the age 67, John and Mary is saying we want to make $80,000 a year once we hit retirement. Well, this is saying as of today, if John and Mary wanted to make that $80,000, considering they have no debt and their age and all the other factors, they have to be investing at least $2,000 per month on average in order to hit that. So, again, this is Coach Danny Renee. I wanted to go over what your financial independence number is. If you have any questions about, you want to kind of know what your financial independence, or you can go to CoachDannyRenee.com. You can email me from there, or you can go to my website and book a call with me, which is completely free. No obligation, no anything. And it'll go through all these different questions that you need to be asking yourself in order to hit that financial independence number and escape corporate, even escape working in your own personal business. Some people are going to hit those goals a lot faster. Some people may hit those goals a lot longer. And some people, if they just have the right tools and strategies,